G'day Bambies, Kaleidow here and welcome to another micro apartment in the Sims 4. So today we are making one for a city Greenthumb. So they won't be having any outside gardens, but instead they're going to be having a whole bunch of pot plants inside their little apartment. So this is sort of inspired by this gorgeous video that is online here on YouTube. I watched it ages ago. I always forget the names of these videos, but I'm sure some of you guys have seen it around the place. It's this lady and she has this amazing overgrown apartment and it's just chock-a-block with a whole bunch of plants. Our one today isn't going to be as cluttered as hers, but I do get creative with some green color schemes and also a whole bunch of pot plants, of course, around the place. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. So we are playing around in the same apartment block. So if you guys haven't watched the two previous apartment videos, what I'm doing in this series is basically having mini-series within a series where I'll be renovating apartments within a apartment block, and every now and then we'll change up the apartment block. So when we finish all of the rooms in this one, we'll move on to something totally different. So the next place, I really want to do something uber tiny, like Tokyo apartment style inspired, but this one's more inspired by kind of the studio spaces that we have in the renovated, I guess, factory mills around Melbourne here. So the rooms are actually quite large, as you can see. In The Sims, they are 8x8. The two middle ones are 7x8, making it still a bit of a challenge, but also it's a good size to start from, I feel, for this series. It is a bit of a challenge type of series, so it has been so much fun and you guys have been really enjoying it. So far we've done a pastel apartment and then we've also done a, what was it? A city nomad or something like that. It was very bohemian and cool, which was great. And what I would love to hear from you guys is your suggestions. We've got a whole bunch of really cool ones so far for the next one. For this one, I kind of just went with my own idea. I really have been wanting to do something a bit more like greenhouse inspired. So that is all we're doing today. I'm not really choosing from one of you guys' suggestions, although I did see some people suggest something similar to this. This is sort of just like out of my brain, and I think I'll do this from time to time. Sometimes we'll be choosing from you guys' suggestions, sometimes it'll be from some exterior inspiration that I found elsewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. The ones that we're probably going to have a poll for on my community tab, I'll make sure to put that up before this video goes out. So make sure you go and check out the community tab here on my channel. I'll have a poll there for the next micro apartment style that I'll do. I think the ones that were winning were punk alternative, sort of, or black and white modern. So those are the two big ones that I saw a lot of people were suggesting, and also ones that I'm kind of interested in doing. I have actually gone ahead and changed up my pastel apartment a little bit more since the last recording. So I'm not sure. I guess when I finish the entire apartment block, I will do a little tour thingamajig and then I'll let you guys know when you can download the entire thing on the gallery. But anyways, back to the poll. I get so sidetracked so easily, sorry guys. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the poll results will be for the modern black and white or the punk alternative. I might chuck in a few other suggestions that I've seen around in there too, so just make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, let's talk more about the actual apartment that we're doing today. I am so happy that we're doing something green. I've said this multiple times here on my channel that my favorite color of all time is green. So yeah, I've been having this idea in my head for quite some time. So yay! I'm so happy to be sharing this with you guys, and I love pot plants. Now, I've been having some bad luck with pot plants recently. In the last 2 years, I've moved 3 times. So every single year I've moved, and it hasn't been that great for my pot plants. They've suffered a lot from it because, their environment and I guess humidity and level of sunlight has really changed when they're moving around. So especially my succulents that I've put outside, they're doing not too great. So anyways, I feel like the sim who lives in this house really has situated all of their plants perfectly, and they're really thriving and happy and healthy with the space. So everything kind of flows in together, and unlike my previous apartments that I've done, we've kind of just kept it all flat, all on one level, so the bedroom's on the same level as the kitchen and the rest of the house. And what I've done instead is just make some wall dividers. The bathroom is a room entirely, which is good. I have a feeling that in the future we might do some bathrooms that are actually like open and connected to the rest of the room, a bit more of a resort kind of feel to it. But this house I feel like is very lived in, so they definitely wanted their bathroom to be enclosed and very private, and it really worked out as a good way to separate the different areas. So like I said, we had the bedroom, which is like a little cozy nook over there, and I had a whole bunch of storage and hanging things and midges or whatever on the wall there later on, and it looks pretty well lived in, if I do say myself. And we also had this gorgeous little shelving unit next to the front door, which I think was great. So I'm really trying to focus on that idea that the sim, since it's such a tiny house, they really do need a whole bunch of cupboards. And even though the cupboards do take space in the Sims 4 and they're not necessarily usable or functional, the house is still usable. I do go ahead and test all of my houses, and even if by the time I upload it onto the gallery it's a little bit different to the video that I've shared here on YouTube, I do make sure that it's usable. So I just want to make sure you guys know that, because some people have called me out saying that parts of the rooms wouldn't even be usable, but yes, they are usable. Just gonna say that right now. I've been making tiny houses and stuff like that for so long now that I kind of have a knack for it. So I'm still learning though, and that's why it's so much fun to make this series with you guys and share it. And I feel like if you guys have any suggestions, just let me know down below, and we'll be able to grow and share ideas and maybe make the most functional, coolest looking micro apartments / tiny homes ever in The Sims 4. That would be so cool. But yeah, now you're seeing how we have so many of these green plants and stuff around the place. I really love the dark teals that we have in the kitchen, and I sort of replicated that into the rest of the home, like put it around. The ottomans in the lounge room, absolutely love them. I love the idea that an ottoman can be a footrest. It can also be a chair for a guest, or you can use it as a table if you're having food or maybe some afternoon tea. You can use it as a coffee table, which is just amazing. I love ottomans. I can't wait to get myself some, but damn, they are actually pretty pricey. Like, I was looking at some from one of my favorite stores here in Melbourne, Arrow Home, and they are like $80, $100, and $200. They're so expensive. Maybe I just need to look at other places to go shopping, because that is very expensive. The little shelves that I put on top of the cabinets in the kitchen just made it look so good. Just brought it all together. And we do have so many shelves in this apartment, as I was saying before. And I think storage is very key in a micro apartment. That would be for sure. We also have the dresser underneath the TV. I feel like that's a really good way to include a cabinet or a wardrobe or whatever in The Sims 4 so that your Sims can change their outfits. But it also looks like a little TV unit, which is just great. It means it's functional for the gameplay, but also has that other like table look to it that you kind of need around your TV. I was so happy that we got to put in a proper big bookcase in this house. I don't know how I fit it in, but it's so perfect there. I put another shelving unit above it just to add on to it and just give a whole storage vibe to it all. Oh, and we also put some outdoor flowers on the windows. Oh my gosh, and these like vine things. Sorry guys, my computer just like crashed for a moment there, but I think I was talking about the vines on top of the cabinets there above the kitchen. Man, I really like this kitchen. I just like how I've mixed up the cupboards there to kind of blend in with the color of the stove and the fridge, and it just really mixes well. And I also like that I added in so many different colors of green. I think at this moment it is like 3 different wall like paints, but I possibly in the future, I can't remember entirely, I may change it to just 2 or maybe even just 1. I hope I leave it as 3 because I honestly kind of like that little variation. It looks really nice. And at the moment, the bed in there is really matchy, but I changed the bed and oh my gosh, looking back now, I'm kind of like, dude, it suits it. Like the yellow, I mean, not the yellow. Oh, I guess they are yellow. The yellow drapes and then the orange pillowcases. Oh, they do look really nice with the rest of the home. So, oh man. So sometimes when you're recording and then you look back at some of your decisions, it's just like, dude, you should have just left it. Sometimes in The Sims, I'm just like, when I decorate, I just overthink it, or I just go over and over it and recycle it until it's maybe a little bit overdone. Let me know down below in the comments, guys, if you do the same thing. I have so many different weird trials when it comes to building in The Sims, but I get there eventually. So I was having an issue, like a really weird bug in this kitchen when I was testing it out. It was so strange. Sometimes it would work out perfectly, and then sometimes it was like my Sim just absolutely did not want to register that there was a free counter there for her to use to make her food. So that was really annoying. And if you guys have any issues, what I would suggest is that you just delete some of the clutter that is standing on the counters. That should fix the issue, but sometimes that doesn't even help, and it's just the game bugging out. It should work, but just for some reason, I don't know why. And I moved around the counters to even be further apart and it still wasn't working. I deleted so much, it still wasn't working. And then I think I closed my game and I restarted it and then it was working. And I was like, really? I literally didn't change anything. It was so strange. One of my absolute favorite features about this home is the chalkboard wall that we have in the middle here. So it's like the dividing wall between the kitchen and the bedroom. There aren't really any details that look like chalk in the game, so I just added in some little images. I think they're from either My First Stuff Pack or from Cats and Dogs. They literally look so similar, some of the items, that I get them confused constantly. So either one of those, and they're actually like black and darker than the chalk color that I have on there, but I still feel like it gives like the idea that it's meant to be a chalk wall. And oh my gosh, I just love the whole idea of like putting chalk paint on a wall and then you can draw on it like all the time. How cool is that? I wish I had one. Oh my gosh. And then kind of going off the little jungle observatory build that I did a while ago, with the little window in the kitchen so you can look through. I just love that idea. I don't know why. It's just so great. After I watched, it was Tiffy's video, she did a tour of her little art room, and there was like this window that looked into her husband's, into Red's office room, and it was so cool. And even though theirs had glass, I just love the whole idea of having windows indoors and how they can connect spaces. So yeah, I thought that was really neat, and I try to include it wherever I can now. Now we have so many different hanging plants and pot plants and stuff in here, but I wanted to add in something different. So I absolutely adore Monstera trees or plants or whatever, and we put one in here. Even though it's just a bush in The Sims 4, we don't actually have one that is potted. I just play around with the move objects cheat a bit and try to fit it into a pot, and in the end I think it looks really good. At the moment it looks a little bit bland there in the corner, but I do change it up a tad. Now we're just adding in some rugs, and I feel like every place, especially apartment, needs some rugs, especially as there may be some nicks or imperfections in the ground. Or you could also say that maybe because you're renting, you don't want to add any imperfections to the ground. You want to make sure there's some sort of protection there because, you know, you want to get your security deposit back, don't you? So you got to put some rugs down to protect the ground a bit. And also it's so nice, especially if you're here in Melbourne, you definitely want to have something warm and cozy on the ground to protect your feetsies from the cold. And yeah, I do like this bed that we have changed into the bedroom. It is still nice. It's got the teal and the yellows, which plays really nicely with that chair we have there in the corner, the fold-up one. Man, I love that fold-up chair. It just reminds me of old school camping. My dad used to have a whole bunch of old school like camping chairs that were fold up from the 80s or 70s in the garage, and sometimes would bring them camping with us, and they did break over time, but they were so cool, and that's what that chair kind of reminds me of. Well, when I was little, I didn't think they were that cool. I really wanted like a new modern one, but now looking back, I'm like, man, that was actually kind of cool. So funny how like things when you're little, you're kind of embarrassed about, but then when you become an adult, it's like, oh, I really appreciate that. I'm totally okay with how I grew up and how we did things compared to others. It's nice to appreciate growing up a little bit out of the norm, if you know what I mean. But yeah, now we're just adding in some nice little lighting around the home. I really like that industrial sort of one there. I feel like the person who lives here and also in this entire apartment block, because it is very Melbourne based, kind of inspired, they would have a lot of reclaimed stuff that they maybe found on the side of the street or maybe got from a op shop or something. So not everything entirely matches, but it was really fun to see that so many things, including plants, match that teal color. Like I was able to really like make that play off each other within the whole apartment. So yeah, really happy with the whole color scheme that I've gone with in here. Let me know what you guys think of it so far. Now I'm playing around with some sort of cupboard in the bedroom here. Now this is something that I had to test a lot to get right, and you guys will be able to see how I got it to work properly at the end of the video. But I feel like it maybe is a little bit overkill, but I feel like it looks a lot better than just being a plain blank wall, you know? Something that I wish we really had in The Sims 4 was a clothes rack, you know, ones that you can roll around. That would be so neat to have in one of our micro apartments. I might go ahead and have a look around for a custom content one. I do have one, but it's like very pastel. We should have used that in our pastel apartment actually, but I totally forgot about it. I possibly would have removed it. I usually do remove my build and buy object feces because they tend to be really buggy, and every time we get like a patch in The Sims 4, it kind of breaks them a lot. The only things that I haven't seen break yet are my wall slidings that I use a lot in my tiny homes. So yeah, they're the only things that haven't really been buggy with patches yet, but oh gosh, touch wood, I'm probably gonna jinx that, but oh man, I hope they don't break because they're my absolute favorite because they're so colorful, and we don't really have that many colorful wall colors in The Sims 4. So yeah, it seems like a lot of the rooms that I'm working with are very muted, or not muted, but they're a certain type of color. I don't know how to explain it. That custom content just has like such a different kind of palette to it to what EA use. I guess EA's would be more realistic, and when I'm playing a game I kind of want to go outside of the boundaries, so that might be what I'm trying to say there. Like they're a little bit more muted, even though they're still vibrant. They're not as vibrant as colors can go, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm just rambling around in a circle. Golly gosh, I love that little llama rug. Oh, it's so cute. I randomly found it. I didn't even know that was a little preset there. It's so adorable. I am literally wearing a jumper that I got from EA right now that says Top Llama on it. So I am a very happy little rainbow lady right now that we have some llamas in this build. And also one of my other favorite objects in The Sims 4 is the little llama money bank. I feel like we need some more llama things in the game, like maybe some plushies, because like even though I love the money bank, I need me some more cute things. Like look at that adorable little cat succulent that I have. I want more things like that in The Sims 4. EA, please, let's have some more pot plants. They're really cute. James Turner or The Sims Supply had a great idea of having hanging plants. Oh my gosh, they would have been so good in this build. Like the little macrame ones. I know you guys always like tell me that I say that word wrong, but they actually pronounce it differently both in the UK and the US, and the Australian way of pronouncing it is like between both worlds of the UK and US. It's really strange. I actually looked into it when somebody commented that, but yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, Australians, we kind of do like grow up half UK, half US. Like that's what our media is. Anyways, guys, you can see here I'm testing things out. My girl was just being annoying, going into the wrong apartment, but there you go. You can see that she's able to use everything, and then it got a little bit buggy after a while. I was so confused, but I do get it working in the end. Now we're up to the screenshots. I hope you guys all enjoyed this micro apartment. It looks so cool, and I really like all of the pot plants, the color scheme with the teals, the yellows, and the greens, of course, with all of those gorgeous plants around the home. All of the rugs and the cushions and stuff, the ottomans especially, I just adore, and I hope you guys do too. Let me know any of your thoughts down below, and also your suggestions. I will have a poll up in my community tab for you guys to go and vote for the next micro apartment. Every now and then I'll be doing my own thing, but I really want to be listening to you guys' suggestions, and will be more often than less doing you guys' ideas rather than mine. I just kind of had inspiration that hit. That's why I did this one all on my own, but I hope you guys still enjoyed. Anyways, if you guys have missed out on any of my other micro apartment videos, make sure you go and check out the playlist. I'll have it down below for you all. And if you want to see some more like tiny home inspired stuff, I actually do have a tiny home series in The Sims 4, so I'll leave that playlist for you guys also down below in the description. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I love you all to bits, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!